Hello, everybody. I think you all know who I am. My name is Malcolm Jones, and we'd like to put together a series of videos and video interviews of some of the leading people in integrity martial arts. And the first person I've got lined up, who has kindly agreed to tell us all about himself and why he got involved and everything you'd like to know about him, is Mr. David Shepherd, who is a third-degree kickboxer, instructor, teaches at Bridport Martial Arts, and is a kickboxing student of mine, and a very kind and very caring and very well-loved student of mine, from Broadmain. So, sir, okay, welcome. Tell everybody about yourself, sir.
Okay, so I'm currently 58 years old, knocking on 59. I've been doing kickboxing for 10 years with Master Jones, Integrity Martial Arts. I had done kickboxing before many years ago, and I thoroughly enjoyed it then. And so, sort of 10 years ago, I decided that I was getting a bit lazy, and I'd wanted to be a black belt in martial arts.
So where did you do it before then, sir?
I actually did it in the Midlands. I did it in Telford.
Oh, okay.
And the emphasis there was more on getting ready for a fight. So it was more intense, more physically demanding. The warm up was 6 miles long, just the warm up.
6 miles long. What, you had to run?
Yeah. Just the warm up. That was the warm up. Yes, yeah, that was just the warm up.
Goodness.
But there wasn't a great deal of technical bits that came with that. But you was really pushed a hell of a lot physically, because it was all gearing up for a fight. He'd like the instructor would be lining up fights for several people. And there'd be lots of different fights. I didn't actually go for any fights because at the same time I was doing karate, and this fitness was helping with me with my karate, which was my main focus then. So
the karate was more of a technical thing, and the kickboxing was more brutal.
Yes, but a lot more physically brutal. Not physically in the fact that you was going to get hit and a bloody nose and a black eye, but more physically demanding. You was being pushed to your limits for, say, set up push-ups or turning kicks or techniques wise that way, or punching a bag. Your cardio was being going into anaphylaxis. You use anaerobic exercising.
I know what you mean.
Body was a lot more, but that helped with my karate, because then I could really breeze through the karate.
So how old were you, sir, when you were doing this?
That was when I was about 33, 34.
So that would have been what? So that's 25 years ago. So
yeah,
mid 90s. Is that about right?
Yeah, mid 90s. Yeah, that was about right.
Okay. All right. Okay. And did you train in a boxing ring, or was it just a mat? Excuse me.
No, it was actually in a school, but no boxing ring. It was just in a school. You had loads of punch bags hanging up, and that was the brutal part of your training.
Of course.
To hit and kick the pads as much in the hard as you can.
Yeah. I mean, as you know, I know you've got one for your class in Bridport, and we would love to have them in the class here, because it would just really ramp up everybody's fitness.
Yeah, it is.
The conditioning that you need is amazing, and we don't really get that opportunity.
Yeah, it is probably the toughest you could ever work out is putting as much effort into and much power into a kick bag, punch bag as you can, and there's nothing really apart from going into a ring as demanding as that. But we in martial arts that we do, kickboxing and integrity, we get damn close to it. It's not easy by any means.
Do you mix with any of the taekwondo people?
We do socialise, yeah. Like the classes kind of interlock. Where you get
Right.
taekwondo start before, and then we sort of have a chat to each other, and then occasionally we have a sparring between well, not between, but where taekwondo's involved in the sparring.
Okay. Oh, good. So what else about yourself that you can tell people? That is there anything? Have you got any hidden secrets, or well, not hidden secrets, but have you got anything unusual that people might be interested to know about your past?
Oh, about my past, yeah, I did play American football for 10 years.
I know that. So if you tell people about that a little bit.
Yeah, I played American football for 10 years. Played in the Midlands in Telford. Actually started the club between two of my mates. We actually started the club. We were secretary, MD, and I can't remember what the other one, but I was secretary for the first 2 years. All the cash was going through me. And we did really well. We got to the semi-finals of the big game, and we got absolutely stuffed then. But we did go into another league, which was basically a 7-a-side American football, which was called passball. But you had to. There was slightly different rules. The pitch was slightly smaller, but you had to throw a lot more. You could only run. You could only run two of your plays. If anybody knows about American football, you could only run two plays, and you had to throw. You had to throw the rest of the game.
The only thing I know about America, I see it all the time, is they get kitted up, huge, great pads, and they bang into each other and really, really knock spots off of each other, as well as the running. I don't think they call it a running back, don't they, or something?
Yeah, running back is the one that runs with the ball from their half, and then you've got other named sort of players.
Quarterback is the guy that throws it.
Yeah, I was the quarterback for last.
You're a quarterback. Hey,
yeah,
that's the golden boy of American football, isn't it? A quarterback.
Yeah, I was. Yeah. I did on the last season. I did get MPV, most valuable player, MVP, most valuable player.
And was this back in the Midlands? This was back in the West Midlands.
Yeah, it was back in the Midlands. And we were a really, really, really good team as well. We actually got to 3 finals. Unfortunately, on all 3 finals we lost. But that wasn't through lack of trying. It's just the other team were better. The other team were better than.
So what made you come down to the South Coast then?
Probably marital sort of things. I kind of, well, not kind of, but I split them from my first wife and kids involved, and CSA, and getting in sort of financial difficulties, and I thought it's got to be an easier way than working every sort of hour I could work just to pay the bills. So I decided that it would be good to go and work on a holiday park. So we applied for several places, me and my wife, and we went to Charmouth and became touring wardens there for 10 years. And thoroughly enjoyed it for every minute of that day. That time we was there, really. So
this was when I first met you. I think was that in Charmouth, was it?
Yeah, I was in Charmouth. Yeah, I actually started kickboxing when I was working there. Yes,
that's right. Yes, I remember. So what other what other interests do you have outside of martial arts now?
I spend a lot of time going to 1610 Sports Centre in Dorchester, and that's to keep my body in shape for kickboxing.
Right.
The other interests are probably, I am an avid Liverpool supporter.
Oh, well, never mind. Okay. I guess you're a bit upset that the fact that they might not win the Premiership title.
Yeah, they might. I'm quite certain they're going to win it, but they might win it by the fact that they're going to give it to them now, which would be awfully disappointing. But yeah, it's being just their best ever season they've ever had.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, it's a bit. but I mean, it's a sensible thing to do, not to play the games. But it's just disappointing that it's come this season when they're playing so well. So.
Did you go and see them when they come to Bournemouth?
No, I would have liked to, but they're actually far too expensive.
Right.
The tickets were £280 a ticket.
How much? £280.
That's the website I looked on. Yeah, £280.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
I know I wasn't going to pay that. Yeah.
Is that really the cost of how much it costs to go and watch Bournemouth?
Yeah, we looked on website. Yeah, so that was the price. There might have been cheaper places, but as soon as I saw that, no, I can't afford that. I'd love to go and see them. Yeah.
So you moved back down to here, and you're down on the south coast, and you wanted to get involved in martial arts. So what drew you? I mean, obviously, I know you came to my class when it was in Bridport, but you know what drew you to it? Was anything that you kind of thought, yeah, I like that, or I like this, or I like that?
Well, to tell you for that, I went to Bridport Leisure Centre. I thought I'll just go and have a look, but rather than that, because I wasn't all that. I've only just sort of last sort of 2 years gotten involved with more sort of internet and computers and Facebook and that. But I went to the leisure centre and I thought I'll just have a walk around, see what posters are there. And there was one poster with taekwondo, one poster with kickboxing.
Right.
I thought, I haven't done taekwondo before. I'd probably enjoy it. I thought I'd probably enjoy it, so I'd do it if I want. But I knew I'd done kickboxing before, and I did really enjoy it. I don't think my body enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it. But I thought, kickboxing, yeah, I've done that before, so I'll go for that. And stepped into the door and met yourself and enjoyed it ever since. But yeah, that was the reason why I decided kickboxing.
And when was this? Well, I'm trying to think myself. I can't think.
It's about 10 years ago, around about now actually. Yeah.
So springtime 2010.
Yeah, that's how long I've been training. Yeah.
And that was in that little bar. It was like a little bar, wasn't it? It was like
it
a
is,
bar.
yeah.
Obviously, you could look out onto the cricket club. I remember.
Yeah, that's right. And that's where I teach my class on a Fridays as well.
You do, yes.
Same hall at the moment. Things might change with all this coronavirus going on.
Yes, of course. But you put mats down, yeah. So you care about your shoes. I didn't care back then. There was gaping holes in the floor, if I remember.
Yeah, they've gotten even worse.
Oh, have they? Oh my goodness.
Holes have gotten even worse, yeah.
Oh my goodness. And you had to walk about 6 miles to get there, if I remember. You couldn't park. Obviously, 6 miles is an exaggeration.
I've actually asked them, and I can actually park by the entrance now.
Ah, you're lucky.
Yeah, so I drive down right by the entrance. So yeah, that's a lot easier, especially we get taking all the mats in, like. But yeah.
So with your kickboxing then, sir, you obviously everyone knows you and everyone respects you in Broadmain. And most of the other kickboxers will know of you. But why did you want to get involved as an instructor? What made you?
Because I enjoy it so much. I wanted to give something of my enjoyment back to other students, young or old, to experience what I enjoy really. And it's not for everybody, but hopefully there will be some people that enjoy my style of teaching and my style and get something that I enjoy so much back to them really. Financially, yeah, I'd like to make a bit of money, but it's not my drive for it really. It's getting people to enjoy what I've enjoyed for the last 10 years and what I've got out of it. And it is quite rewarding. You get belt at the end of the grading if you worked hard enough. And eventually you'll get to a black belt. And I keep on saying to my students that everybody in the class, you're all capable of getting to a black belt. It's just one stage at a time. And they're all young and old, and they're listening and getting through it and improving every day.
So what's the youngest you teach, sir?
The youngest I teach is an 11-year-old lad. He's really good.
Okay.
All really keen. Yeah.
And
The old.
do you have any older ones?
Yeah, there's a few ladies. I don't really exactly know what age they are, and I
Oh,
don't think
we can't mention their age, sir.
yeah, they're not youngsters, and they're not
Oh,
sort of not old age pensioners, but somewhere in the middle.
okay.
But yeah,
So what's been what's been the highlight of your career so far, would you say?
You'd be surprised actually that the heart my greatest joy is actually seeing my students grade and pass. I'm a black belt.
I'm not surprised at all. Not surprised, because that's the same for me.
I'm a third degree, but I give all my belts away to see just one of my students get through and get to a black belt, and see exactly what drives me and what enjoyment I get from it. I genuinely would give up all my belts, but it's just what I am really. It's not something I want to sort of. Yeah, I'd like to be a millionaire, and I keep on saying to my wife, if we won the lottery, I'd still be doing it.
It's not an only fools and horses moment. This time next year, we'll be millionaires.
Yeah, if that was the case, I'd still be doing it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't stop me from doing it. In actual fact, it would probably inspire me to do more of it than I could do sort of cheaper classes and more different times or whatever, rather than trying to do it in between my work, and possibly even have a venue that we could all go to at one particular sort of site in Dorset, really.
So I mean, in probably in a couple of years for you, you're going to have a black belt. Your first black belt.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that's going to be a very emotional moment.
It will be. Yes, it will. Yeah, it is going to be emotional. I'm getting emotional about it now. Never mind on the day when they get that black belt. Yes, but it will be a real pleasure and honour that I've actually got to that stage. It's.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to that day. Looking forward to it.
It'll be here sooner than you think, sir. It'll be here sooner than you think, and that will be the first of many, I'm sure. That'll be the first of many. So what does the future hold for you in that response? I don't mean about Liverpool Football Club, but about you and about your kickboxing.
I'd like to keep on training as long as my body allows me to. But my main focus would be to try and improve my classes and get more people to come and enjoy the things that you can enjoy in kickboxing.
I mean, you and I are of a similar age.
Yes, sir.
What advice would you give to some of our older members about training?
It's still possible. Even if you've done no exercise for 20 years, it's still possible. Take it slowly, take it steadily. Keep on coming to class, keep on going to class. Try and do some other exercise outside of class. Tell my students, it's not just what you do in class. If you come to class, because there's one on a Wednesday, one on a Friday, if you just come to those classes, you will find it really difficult to do and grade and get through your gradings each time. Okay, you've got to put some more effort in. Either physically, you've got to do some more fitness, and you've also got to practice your techniques and your theory for kickboxing. And that way you'll get through your gradings. Because I've told my students many times as well, my hardest grading wasn't the last one. Wasn't my third degree. My hardest grading was my first one. I didn't realise what was coming. I hit it. It was like a train coming straight towards me, and I didn't do any physical exercise before it. I just came to class on a can't remember days, so on a Tuesday and a Thursday. Came to class, practiced as hard as I could. Then I went to the grading, and I was absolutely exhausted. Like I say, it was like hitting a train coming straight towards me. I was exhausted, and thoroughly enjoyed it, but realised I've got to do some more training for this. I've got to do more fitness. I've got to practice more. Going to class not going to get me through.
Can you remember who the grading examiner was?
I can't remember his name, sir. It was one of your friends from another club.
Master Deedigan.
Or
Chris Wood.
Yeah, Chris Wood. Yeah. What's Master Deedigan?
Right.
Chris Wood. And I know exactly where it was as well. And I can't remember hardly any of where the other grades have been, but I remember that one where it is. I remember the first one.
Go on, if you tell me, because I can remember one very, very strange one. Go on.
Redlands Leisure Centre in Weymouth.
Yeah, and it was really hot, really sweaty.
Yes, it was.
Right, I remember.
And I'd done all my grading, and then 2 or 3 belts afterwards, they come up and said, "Oh, you want the air conditioning on?" Yeah, that would have helped. That would have helped on my grading for the air conditioning. But yeah, it was very much. I remember that one, but can't remember hardly any of the other ones.
It was 2010. You're right. It was that I remember that grading because I've probably got your grading card here somewhere. I should have fished it out. You should have seen your picture on it.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember it in Weymouth. Yes.
Yeah.
It was Mr. Wood. Yeah. Wow. So obviously we love integrity martial arts. We like what it represents, what it does. But where would you like to see it go? How would you like to see it evolve?
I'd probably like us to have 2 permanent venues, probably. Probably one in Poole and one in Dorchester. And then a number of our instructors go there on different times and teach their classes and go from there, really. That would be the ideal scenario I would think of. But if we continue as we are, then just to get the word out for more people to come along and enjoy it, really. Okay. It's something that once you've got the bug, once you've got that once you really come to a grading and see how hard it is, that we don't give them away. That none of our belts are ever given to people. No. You have to come along and earn it. Okay, you might not be technically perfect, but that's not vitally important. But you've got to come along and earn that belt. We're not going to give it you. And once they've done that, once they've gone to the grading, I'm sure they come again, because it's just so inspiring, especially if they see some of the senior grades, how tough it can be. But I would say when I say tough, it's not getting battered to death, not going to get a black eye, a bloody nose, or a broken leg. But it's tough as your spirit's being tested a lot more than I think other clubs do. So I take quite good pride in the fact that we have failed many people, and they've come back and passed the second time or third time. But it's really sort of crucial that people get that message. Like, we're not a club that gives their belts away. You've got to come along and earn it, and you'll feel proud of getting your belt and you're passing your grading. So.
Wow. Thank you ever so much, sir. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and I hope that we get to see each other in person soon, because obviously it's been too long. It's been 2.5 weeks already, and I'm getting withdrawal symptoms because I haven't seen anybody. I just see people on video screens and what have you. And albeit that's great, but I'm really looking forward to catching up with you, properly soon, and seeing each other for real. Yeah. And then hopefully we can get you that 4th degree.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. yes, I got to step up to the plate and push myself. I must admit, I've come off the boil really, because it's nothing's knocked everybody for six really. It's not just physically, emotionally, and mentally. Everybody's sort of taken a step back. Thought this
it's nobody's fault, is it? It's nobody's fault. But as soon as things start to change, I think then we should put the word out. Obviously, we're not going to know when it's going to be, but people need to start ramping up their training.
Yes.
You know, come the end of April and the start of May, I think they should start really ramping up, because who knows, we could be out of this by summertime, and then it's all guns blazing, and then people have to be on their game.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Oh, go on.
That's one thing I put on Facebook, sir. I don't know whether you wanted to mention, because I thought, well, they could have a buddy system, but they may not be able to get in touch with everybody. Like, but I don't know whether so like yourself and myself and Sarah Jane will be able to sort of communicate and get somebody a partner to try and motivate each other to do some training. But only the instructors have got everybody's sort of details. Like.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Thank you very much, sir. All right. Enjoy your evening, and and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. Okay. Bye, sir.